Have you ever noticed how easily your peace can be disturbed? A careless sentence, a raised voice, someone ignoring you when you expected kindness. In those moments, it feels as if they took something from you, your calm, your balance, your sense of safety inside. But here is a truth that quietly changes everything. No one can make you angry unless you give them permission. Anger is not planted in you by others. It rises from the moment you hand over control of your inner world. This is the story of a man who once lived at the mercy of every word, until he learned how to return home to himself. The day I stopped reacting, I started living. His name was Raheem. Raheem lived in a quiet village near the mountains. The land was peaceful. The mornings were gentle. Yet Raheem carried a storm inside him. If his wife forgot salt in the meal, he shouted. If a cow wandered into his field, he exploded. If children laughed too loudly, he barked at them to be silent. Raheem believed something deeply. People are careless. The world is disrespectful. I am not the problem. His wife Amina spoke softly. Why do you let small things steal your peace? Because people should know how to behave. He'd snap back. If they don't respect me, how can I stay calm? What Raheem could not yet see was this. Every time he reacted, he handed his peace to someone else. He gave his power away. One afternoon, a neighbor's child accidentally broke one of Raheem's tools. His shouting echoed through the fields. Birds scattered into the sky. The boy ran home in tears. That night, Raheem sat alone. The anger had passed, but what remained was worse, a heavy emptiness in his chest. Why do I always feel worse after I lose my temper? He whispered to the empty room. Sleep never came. Before dawn, Raheem walked toward a banyan tree where a monk had recently arrived. The monk sat quietly beneath the tree. His presence felt like still water. After a long hesitation, Raheem finally spoke. I am tired. People make me angry, and I cannot control it. The monk opened his eyes slowly. When anger comes, how long does it stay? Raheem thought for a moment. Sometimes an hour, sometimes an entire day. And when it leaves, how do you feel? The monk asked. Raheem looked down, ashamed, empty, sad, exhausted. The monk nodded. Because anger burns the one who holds it. He lifted a cup of water. When water is calm, you can see your reflection. He shook the cup gently, and the reflection distorted. When it is shaken, clarity disappears. The same is true of the mind. Raheem's frustration surfaced. So should I stay silent when people insult me? The monk smiled softly. No. Learn to respond, not react. Reaction is unconscious. Response is wisdom. The next morning, the monk asked Raheem to bring water and sand. He lit a fire and boiled the water. Can you touch it now? He asked. Raheem pulled his hand back. No, it would burn me. That is anger, the monk explained as the water boiled fiercely. When emotions boil, peace becomes untouchable. Then he dropped sand into the pot. The water immediately turned cloudy and murky. This is the mind when you react. He said nothing more. They waited in silence. Slowly, the sand settled at the bottom, and the water grew clear again. When you stop reacting, the monk said, the mind settles on its own. Clarity returns without force. In that moment, Raheem understood. All these years, he had been boiling his own water. Raheem began to practice. When irritation rose, he paused, he breathed. He remembered the monk's words. When someone throws dirt at you, you don't have to catch it. It was not easy. Old habits fought for survival. But Raheem stayed with the practice. At the market one day, a merchant tried to cheat him. The familiar heat rushed through his body, but this time Raheem stopped. He looked the merchant in the eye and said calmly, I will buy from someone honest, and he walked away. Dignity over drama. That night, he slept deeply, not because he won an argument, but because he did not abandon himself. One morning, a group of young men mocked him as he walked by. Look, one of them shouted. The angry man has become a saint. His fists tightened. His ego whispered, defend yourself. But then he remembered the monk's lesson. When you react, you give your power away. The power returns in the pause. Raheem exhaled and smiled gently at them. You're right, he said. I am learning something better. Surprised by his response, one of them asked sincerely, how can you stay so calm when we insult you? Raheem's eyes were kind. When someone offers you poison, he said, you don't have to drink it. Silence followed. Raheem walked on light, unburdened. Weeks passed. Raheem no longer shouted. Children felt safe around him. Even when things went wrong, he remained steady. He returned to the monk and bowed. I understand now. People never made me angry. My own mind did. The monk smiled, the warm sunlight framing his face. Life will keep testing you. Each time you remain calm, your inner strength grows. Raheem asked gently, will people ever stop testing me? The monk laughed softly as a breeze moved through the leaves. When the storm sees you no longer run, it stops chasing you. Years later, Raheem became known as the calmest man in the village. People would come to him, their hearts troubled, and he would tell them, peace is not found in the silence outside, but in the silence within. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that helps you find your inner strength.